Maxx is a plugin that creates harmonics that are added to the original signal. These harmonics trick the human ear into perceiving lower bass frequencies that may not have been present in the output of the original signal. We are definitely able to hear the bass guitar through small speakers even though they cannot physically reproduce the fundamental or main note being played. There are indeed harmonics or overtones from the bass guitar emanating from these small speakers, enabling us to hear the bass. Your ear interprets these overtones and your brain creates the missing fundamental note inside your head. This is a documented and well-known psychoacoustic phenomena that Waves uses liberally and gives you control of it. Speaking of controls, let's check them out. Since Maxx splits the signal into high and low frequencies with a crossover, it analyzes the low frequency content only and generates a specific series of harmonics that can be mixed with the original bass. It can then be recombined with the high frequency content at the output. The Maxx graph shows the frequency relationship of the original bass and the Maxx signals. The frequency slider controls the split point of the crossover. The frequencies below this point will have harmonics created for them, and all others are sent to the output. Note, you can click and drag in the value field, use the left and right cursor arrows on the keyboard, or select the field and type in the new value to change the frequency parameter. The Input-Output section contains controls for the input level, original bass level, and Maxx level. Below these are the monitor buttons. Audio is the normal mixed output. Maxx is the low-frequency harmonics-only solo. The original bass is the original low-frequency solo. The harmonics section contains two controls. The high-pass filter toggle cuts low frequencies from the generated harmonics. There are 3 different curves. The decay controls the progressive rate of level decay for each succeeding harmonic. Higher values, near 0, yield richer harmonics, which affect large and small monitors differently. This may be great for creating better low-end and small speakers, but then sound blurred on a large system. Lower values may yield the opposite results. The dynamics section allows us to apply an upward compressor, and thus as the ratio is increased, the level of harmonics will also increase, yet with a decreased dynamic range. The response value window is represented in milliseconds, and it controls the attack and release of the generated harmonics. You will notice that faster times make the harmonics respond quicker. When using Maxx as a mastering tool, it is best to set the input level around -6 dB as a starting point. This is due to the fact that Maxx can create large increases in peak values. Use the peak and hold input meters to gauge your amount of headroom. Let's check out Maxx on a mix. We will load and tweak a few presets while auditioning the original and generated harmonic bass signals.
I keep looking for that light to set me free. I'm not perfect. I'll take you. You give me something to hold on to.
Maxx bass can add a smooth low end without muddying the mix or smearing the low end of instruments such as guitar, bass, and keyboards. Make sure to use your ears whether you're using it on an individual track or mastering some mixes with it. Sometimes EQ can be more appropriate, so make sure to use what sounds good. Also, a side note, in creating specialty mixes for, say, interactive games or educational products that will most likely be played over limited bandwidth systems, the Maxx bass can become an invaluable tool in making your mixes stand out above the rest. For additional information on equalization, make sure to check out the Q10 movie tutorial.